recent survey shows that most Americans don't have adequate savings. Only 29% of the country's adult population says they have enough money to survive an emergency. The survey, conducted by Bankrate, calls the trend Americans being comfortably numb with their savings plight. That means a majority of respondents say they're either very comfortable or somewhat comfortable with their savings. And in this case, a lack of. Only 22% say they are not comfortable at all. The survey says many American families have gotten used to living from paycheck to paycheck on a knife's edge. It also suggests a reason many people may feel calm about being in a bad financial situation is the growing attitude that having little to no savings is normal. But is the trend really normal for one of the world's wealthiest nations?
There is an inevitable outcome of capitalist development over a long period of time, which is that what was described as the accumulation of wealth at one pole is matched by the accumulation of poverty and suffering at the other pole.
The survey might not be as shocking when put in context. In late June, the United Nations released a chilling report on poverty and social inequality in the U.S.
That you have immense wealth, you have 25% of the world's billionaires, you have a massive tax break which has made the wealthy much richer than they were before, but at the same time you have 40 million people living in poverty. Almost 1 in every 5 American children lives in poverty.
The White House has called the figures exaggerated. Experts disagree.
Count the number of people who live in poverty according to the government statistics and the number of people who are low income, it amounts to about 48% of the population of the United States.
Economists say despite the wealth gains in the U.S. during the past few years, the wealth was not evenly distributed. The median family now has fewer resources, and about a third of families have no wealth or negative wealth outside the value of their home.
Are such that a great part of the population really is living week to week, month to month, and many people, a great part of the population is really in debt and often deeply in debt and working just to pay off their debts as well as to try to stay alive on a day-to-day basis.
The United Nations says Americans born into poverty are now more likely than ever before to stay that way, and the current administration's policies are doing more damage than good.
What I've seen in the US is the dominance of twin narratives, which are that the rich are enterprising, altruistic, hardworking, dedicated. The poor are losers, scammers, people trying to profit from the system.
The UN says the policy of poor people deserve what they get is becoming institutionalized in US culture and society as a result.